It's time for another episode of the CX Accelerator Show. Me and Erica are back. Hello, Erica Marois.
Hello, Nate. How are you, my friend?
I'm feeling very patriotic today. It's been an amazing month here in the United States. We have so much to celebrate.
World Cup season, all the things.
At the recording of this episode, our team is looking great. And I hope that when this releases in a few weeks that we are still looking great. We'll see.
We'll see how well this ages.
Yeah, I did. I will admit though, I got so excited. I made a snack, sat down on the couch for the World Cup, and was watching a soccer game for the first time in so long. I couldn't tell you much about what happened in that soccer game because I fell asleep for 2 hours. Gone.
Classic.
Yeah. So
I get it. We just ended hockey season and there were a lot of late nights where I was struggling to stay awake. So I get it. We're getting too old for this, Nate.
I know. Well, and we're talking a lot today, Erica, about energy and how present it is. I've been talking a lot about how I feel like there are two remarkable forces in the universe that are always present that we don't give enough credence to, and they're very, very present in the workplace. And those two things are hope and energy. And we give them to each other all the time, or we don't, or we give a negative version of it. And the way that it changes our perspective and our ability to operate in our jobs, you could not overstate the impact. And yet we almost never talk about it.
It's so true. And it's why I have been looking forward to this recording all week long. I am pumped about this topic. And so why don't we dive in, Nate? I've got a question for you first. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? And how has that impacted your career?
Oh gosh. As always, Erica, I'm not going to be as simple as giving you a direct answer to that question. So my wife has introduced me to the term omnivert. And I definitely believe that I am an omnivert, which means that I suffer from the extremes of both. So one day you will see me and I am an extreme extrovert and all the good and the bad that comes with that. The next day you won't see me because I am in the woods by myself. And that's kind of how I operate. And so I actually took a standout assessment, the Marcus Buckingham one. Shout out to Gary Cena for having me take that. And so I was rated as a stimulator. So as a stimulator in the workplace, I am an emotional catalyst. So I feel responsible for turning everyone's emotions around me into enthusiastic emotions. Like I feel responsible for doing that. I have a significant amount of optimism and generally joy around the work that I'm doing and trying to activate that joy inside of others. But then there is a significant need to recharge, and I give a lot of energy to other people. And there are times where I just can't bring that energy to something. And everybody around me is like, what's wrong with you? What's going on? What's your problem today? And it drives me up the freaking wall. And so I've had a person in a meeting before, and I'm presenting data. I'm presenting data in a meeting, and I was a little down. I was on a recharge day, and this person spoke up with all these leaders all around and said, "I cannot figure you out. What is your deal, Nate? Like you're so high, like we're riding the Nate roller coaster, and you're all excited about everything." And then you come in today and you're freaking Debbie Downer. And I was literally speechless, and it hurt me so bad when this happened in this meeting. But what she said helped me so much to realize that I was taking everybody with me on this emotional roller coaster that was very unhealthy. And I wasn't meaning to. It's just the way that I am. And so it has very much impacted my career over, especially in those early years when I did not understand the impact I was having on everybody around me. And since then, I have been able to more effectively maintain the positive elements of the stimulator and still have that superpower. But at the times where I need to disappear and not bring everybody with me for the dip in the roller coaster, I disappear. And that's actually how I protect them.
Mm. I think it's so wise of you to know yourself well enough to be able to take that time apart when you need to. Omnivert is a new term to me, but I used to always call myself an ambivert. And it took me a long time to realize I was doing that because I was embarrassed to admit I was an introvert. Because I had gotten all these messages growing up that it was not a good thing to be an introvert. If you're shy, you're not going to go far in life. You have to be outgoing to be successful. And the truth is, being shy or outgoing really has nothing to do with whether you're introverted or extrovert, first of all. But second of all, there's nothing wrong with being an introvert. It's a superpower, that we can all harness, and I was chatting with Jenny and Debbie about this book that's helped me a lot. It's called Personal Branding for Introverts. It's by Goldie Chan. Highly recommended if you, like me, are an introvert out there listening to this. Um, but I think my career really started to flourish when I accepted who I was and leaned into my strengths instead of trying to pretend that I was somebody I'm not. So that's why I'm really excited to bring our first guest on today. Debbie is joining us. Debbie, how are you
Hello.
today?
Hello.
So you posted something on LinkedIn about a week or so ago, and it really struck a chord with me. And I immediately sent the link over to Nate and I said, we need to have a podcast about this. And you started your post off with, I am an introvert in an extrovert's world. You were talking about your journey applying for jobs right now.
Mhm.
What happened that made you finally decide to post that?
Well, part of the job exploration for me has been trying to figure out who I am and how to sell myself. And I think what I discovered when I look back at my careers, I've tried to shove myself into positions that were challenging socially to me because I thought that's what I needed to do in order to make headway and get ahead. And then I sat back and I thought about all the things of my job that I love. And it's really the one-on-one conversations where I can dig deep and pull nuggets from people. And it's the times where there's more of a one-on-one connection with somebody or a small group versus going to cocktail hour after cocktail hour and trying to feel comfortable with that. And so this job loss has kind of made me really think hard about where I've been, what I've done, and where I want to go next. I think that's what spurred that. And as you know, job hunting right now is you need to know somebody, you need to talk to people, you need to talk to a lot of strangers. And that takes a lot of energy from me.
That's so relatable. Debbie, I appreciate you opening up this conversation. And I'm excited to also welcome Jenny Dempsey to the podcast today. Jenny, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me
We're
here.
great. We're so glad to have you here. And I know I've known you for years. And even just through your writing and having the chance to be in the same room with you, I just love the rich perspective and the empathy that you always bring to conversations like this. So thank you for being here. Before we go any further, because I don't want to presume in the spirit of like stereotypes, are you an extrovert or an introvert, Jenny?
Well, I like to call myself something that doesn't have a cool name yet, but I really refer to myself as an extroverted empath. I wouldn't necessarily say introvert, but there are qualities from that I really aligned with because it's kind of this mix where I love being in a room full of people. I love being on stage. I love community building. But I also absorb all the energy like a sponge and I hold on to everyone else's feelings. And that can weigh me down if I don't take breaks. So, one of my ongoing lessons that I'm continuously learning is how to take care of myself when I am in a big room giving so much of my energy to others as well. So, it's very interesting, and I'm so excited to dive into this because it sounds like we all have so many kind of different angles to this, and it really highlights the fact that there's not just one way to be. It's not so black and white. You're not just an extrovert or an introvert. You're kind of this mix, and it's so different for everybody, and that's what makes it really cool.
It's so interesting to me. Like after I have a conversation with Jenny or Erica, I actually feel a lot the same. Like I feel like I'm so happy, and like you all are stimulators in the sense of like the joy comes off you, and just the passion towards anything that you're putting your mind to, like it radiates off you in such a contagious way. But then like I can feel my burdens being lifted off of me as well because you take on the emotions of others and you help to heal the broken parts in me in any conversation you ever have with me. And it's such a gift. And I leave the conversation feeling so at peace, but then realizing, oh my goodness, I probably just passed that on.
Definitely not intentional at all, right, Nate? But I think that's such a great point because, especially for us in customer service, in contact center roles, it's really a big part of our jobs is when we talk to people, we're lifting a burden off of them. I mean, how many customers over the years, have we had conversations with and we've solved their problems and they go on to write a review about how good we made them feel in addition to the problem being solved? I think it's a huge part of this that it's kind of a natural inclination for many of us in this industry of we are these kind of people that lift that burden off of others. So how do we protect that energy? Because that can get heavy. You're taking on everybody's stuff, which is a wonderful quality, but how do you also let it go and take care of yourself as well?
That is so powerful. I would wager to guess that a lot of empaths are naturally drawn to customer experience and customer service roles. I
I
meet
bet.
so many people in this space that are empaths. It's so
Yeah.
interesting. And it kind of brings me perfectly to my next question, which is for you, Debbie, because another thing that you hit on in your LinkedIn post was this idea that a lot of times introverts, they learn to perform so well that they kind of lose themselves in the process. I think that happens to a lot of us in customer experience where we feel like we have to be performing and on all day while we're serving our customers. So for you, Debbie, like how has that shown up in the workplace? And then Jenny, I would love to know if you've seen this play out too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, in a leadership position, I can't be who I comfortably want to be, where I'm absorbing. I'm more of an absorber, a processor, and then output. But I feel like a lot of times in a situation like that, if I'm not saying something, if I'm not adding some value in the moment, then I'm sort of looked at as, not somebody that's bringing value. And it has to do with a lot of the people that I was on a leadership team with were very outspoken, and it was a battle of who could get the minutes with their words. and and that's just not a comfort spot for me. So for sure in that situation, I try and come up with something to say, whether I had really thought it through or not. But also what I alluded to earlier, where I chose communications as my degree, and actually speech communications, which was like way out of my comfort zone, but I wanted to push. And then for a long time, I worked as a corporate event planner. So I was literally on stage for years and ran things from beginning to end, was the point person for everything. But I did that intentionally. And I started to think, oh, maybe this is me. It wasn't me. And I was just, the whole, what is this saying, square peg in a round hole. I did that for a long time. And so I think I'm learning now better who I am and what's comfortable for me. And I don't have to talk a lot or interrupt or whatever it might be to bring value. I can do that in my own way and feel comfortable that way.
Preach. I love that. Jenny, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think for me, and I maybe for many other extroverts, kind of similar to what you said, Erica, there's a stereotype expectation where some things, for you, like if you're shy, it's bad. Like there's like these things that people put pressures on. But I think for me as an extrovert, people always think, or I always think people think, I'm too much. I'm just too much for them, or I'm giving too much. Like in a workplace, like I get excited about things, or sometimes I like kind of like I'm ready. I'll sing a song about, like I'll kind of
Literally.
literally I will. And I sometimes have to be like, oh my gosh, like, am I being too much? Am I being too big? Like, like I've had people tell me before, turn the dial down, Jenny, and you just need to like, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, like, but I think there's a part of it where it works and it doesn't have to be related to it being a bad thing. I think it can be okay. Like in a way that I am showing up at work for that. It's not bringing anyone down. It's lifting others up. It's being a part of a team. But I think we kind of have to get real about these pressures that are put on us or things that maybe people have said to us in the past about our personalities. And Debbie, to your point of like, who are we at our core? Like, who are we truly showing up as? What do we truly want to do? Um, I I just feel like it's important to kind of own that. And maybe with experience and time, we kind of figure that out. I mean, full transparency, when I was a kid, I actually was so shy at school. This is probably surprising to everybody. I got made fun of and called a mute because I didn't talk. Like, I got written up at school by my teachers because they said I was too quiet in class. So if you can imagine that, that like that was me. My mom would get calls, I'd have to go into meetings. Jenny's not talking, or she's not talking in class. Like, she won't, she raises her hand, she freezes. Like, so it was an ongoing thing for me to kind of find who I was and where I fit in and where I wanted to show up, and how to be okay with kind of being this a little bit bigger of a personality, and just owning that that's who I am. Nate, I don't know if that resonates with you too, but like you're when you have a bit of that more, I don't know, it shows up more publicly, and then people can think what they want, but how do you just stay true to yourself?
Fast forwarding the clock a little bit from that version of Jenny Dempsey who would freeze when she raised her hands. I almost ended up in Disney jail because of Jenny Dempsey and her songs. Uh, we came out
You
of dinner from
there.
ICMI, and Jenny and I had the brilliant idea of busking on the Disney boardwalk, which I do not suggest.
Do not suggest. No, it's illegal.
Completely a joke, but Jeff Toyster threw in some money in there, and the Disney police descended like from the clouds, like out of helicopters is what it felt like. Like it took no time for the Disney police to descend upon our busking session. I was belting out some kind of Taylor Swift lyric,
Yeah.
and they're like wanting to like cuff us basically and take us somewhere. And Jeff Toyster was like, "Hey, hold on. So sorry. We just came out of that restaurant. This was a joke. That's my money. Let me just grab it back out. They've not taken anybody's money. We're so sorry." And then Jenny, in her sweet nature, was able to talk this guy out of arresting us to Disney jail. But we did get assigned a security guard the rest of the night, who mini golfed with us the entire evening. And by the end of that night, let's just say this Disney security guard really liked Jenny Dempsey.
No. Well, and I mean, I had my guitar there at the ICMI conference that year because I sang a song about customer service. So I mean, kind of going back to these like touch points of being true to yourself. But yeah, Nate, that is a
Good
memory for
story.
the books.
It's one of my
That's I see my lore.
I-
But Debbie, you said something that made me realize I have made a mega mistake as a leader for so long by putting people in this introvert extrovert box. And I've heard so many people say you got to give your introverts a chance to speak up in the meetings. And so I've done that where I'm in there and people are hogging the spotlight and talking and grabbing all the time, and I'm like, hey, let's hit the pause button. Hey Debbie, what do you think? That's not the way to do that.
Right.
There's a better way. Like, you need time to process and think. Like, I'm trying to think, like, what is the right way to allow the Debbies of the world to be the geniuses that you are and to contribute in the right ways at the right time?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I don't know. I mean, for me, a lot of times it's been, I will bring it up later. I know the world wants everything now, and in an instant, but I prefer to take that, sit with it, think about it, because I know that my initial thoughts or what I thought I was going to say is going to change after I've sat on it for a little bit. Sometimes it doesn't even come out because it's changed that much that it wasn't worth that conversation. But I feel like my judgments on things aren't quick and without thought, and I'm not saying that anybody else's are, but I really feel like I kind of have to stew a little bit before I can be articulate enough to make something memorable.
That's hard for me. That's hard.
I think it's fair. I feel the same way, Debbie. And one thing that you brought up that also resonated with me was this idea of like you have to be really intentional with your calendar. So for
Yes,
me, I feel like if I'm in a day of just back to back big team meetings, that drains me faster than even being in a room in person with people meeting all day.
absolutely.
So I've started
Absolutely.
blocking off key times on my calendar so I can just think. Is that
Yep.
something that you do too,
Yep.
Debbie?
I've been doing it forever. I have a walk time that I plug in on every calendar day just to get out of here for a little bit, look at something different. I it's draining for me both in person and on calls, but I can feel my heart raising, my heart, not my beat, but I can feel it. I can feel it in my body when I start to feel that I've gotten too much and I just need to step back for a minute. And so I've just learned that I need that me recharge time, whatever that ends up being, even if it's just walking out to the kitchen and getting a drink of water or something. Or stepping out of the room. I know I have to do that, and I feel better.
That's great advice. And Jenny, you spent years helping coach people through how they can make time for self care. So, as Debbie
Yeah.
was saying that, it made me wonder, like, what advice would you give to someone who's maybe starting to tap into themselves, notice those signals? What should they do?
I really think that you have to start small because I think for a lot of us, setting that time aside can be really hard when there's so many other things going on. So even if you block off 2 minutes, I know that sounds crazy, but just start small. It's more than what you're already doing. Block off 2 minutes on your calendar and actually go, I don't know, go sit outside or just sit on the couch, whatever it is, like do something else and then maybe over time increase that and see how it goes. But you got to start small because otherwise you may never do it if you think I got to take a whole hour. And they're like, that's too much time. Oh, it's so overwhelming to think of all the things you could be doing. But start small, 2 minutes, even 1 minute. Like, how many of us are not taking just 1 minute away to go catch your breath and calm that heart rate? And I think that could really be a great first step for someone who may feel like it's too much.
Mm, I love that. So, I'm really curious to get both of your perspectives, also Nate too. But we all work in some way, shape, or form in the CX space, right? We work in customer experience, customer service roles. And so I'm curious from your perspectives. We've got introvert, extrovert. What are the strengths that have really served you well in this career? And do you think there are some underrated or underused strengths that we could be better tapping into with the team members that we have right now?
I guess I would start off by saying I feel like I listen really well because like I said, I'm a processor. I also think one thing that has been really surprising to me is when I share this story with people, I hear, "Oh yeah, I'm so happy you said that. Oh, let's talk about that more." I hear from people that are also doing the same thing that I've been doing, just kind of pretending and going along with everything. But I feel like somehow I'm helping empower others and what their comfort zone feels like and how they can start to talk about it. And so I think that's a strength too that I've ended up mentoring people, introverts versus introvert, which has been interesting. But we're all in at different points along the path of trying to figure out who we really are. And so those have been really helpful for me too, to learn things from them as well.
How lucky would someone be to be mentored by you, Debbie? That's awesome.
Well, thank you.
One of the things that
Jenny, what
kind
do
of
you think?
I think, like, for me, kind of with this mix of extrovert and this empath, I really lean into relationship building. And so, with at
Absolutely.
work for me, building relationships with my team, with people on other teams, um, it comes slightly natural to me. And so I feel very grateful for that. And so I'm able to build those relationships because, I mean, as someone who also got laid off, you know that no matter where you go, people will follow your colleagues that you build, and so that matters so much to me in my job now. um and I think, like, you can build relationships, you can get things done that way, and I'm also not afraid to ask questions or really get to know someone. And so that is one skill, the relationship building part, that's kind of work related but also like personal, getting to know people on an actual real basis is really important to me and something that I would encourage others if they're comfortable with doing, because that at the end of the day, it's just, well, just people helping people. So yeah.
Yeah, when I think of that radical candor model, Kim Scott, I
Hmm.
just think, Jenny, like, you are such a remarkable trust builder in terms of those relationships. Like, you earned the right so quickly to be able to speak into somebody's life and challenge them in whatever way that you would. But even when you're in challenge mode, you do it so kindly. You hardly even feel it as a challenge, but yet you are like helping to push somebody into what you know is a healthy direction. You're one of the best I've ever seen at it.
Oh, hey, well, thank you for saying that. And I really appreciate that because I want others to feel that they can do the same for me. Like if it's an open, I'm an open book, and if someone has some feedback, I also want that reciprocated. And I feel like that creating that kind of safe space to have those kinds of conversations is so important. And so that means a lot. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah, as I think about that question, it's a great question, Erica, and would love to hear your answer as well on that. Um, I think I want to keep my ability to light the match and get people really excited about stuff. As I think about John Cotter leading change, if you're going to get a change management cycle to stick or to make any difference at all, the first stage is to create a sense of urgency and excitement. And that is what I am best at. And I have really been bad at doing any of the other 7 stages historically. And I feel like, funny enough, just in the last couple of years, I've really gotten a lot better at my follow through in terms of lighting the match and then still elevating the flame and keeping it lit and fostering the excitement over time that culminates into something that actually matters. It used my entire first half of my career was marked by quick starts and quick failures. And it feels like just now I'm kind of hitting my stride in terms of my ability to be an effective manager of change.
Mm, I can totally see that, Nate. It's been so fun to watch your growth trajectory over the last several years, especially in the CX accelerator space. So kudos to you, my friend. You put in the work and it's paying off.
Well, I mean,
Um,
there's 3 people on this call that have invested so much into CX Accelerator, and so many people out there just so unbelievably grateful for the people that we have truly helped to enhance their CX careers just through the edification and the generosity of knowledge and relationship building that has happened through that community. Jenny and Erica, you were the original leaders in that thing and just gave so much of your time into that at a time that was really critical for you. I will never forget the generosity of that. Just so grateful.
It's such a beautiful community. We were cleaning out my son's closet recently, and I stumbled upon the CX Accelerator onesie that you sent to me when he was born, and he's
Oh,
getting ready to start first grade now. So it was a blast from the past.
so good. I love it. So Erica, same question.
Yeah. I think I really relate to Jenny in that I am an empath too. I'm an introverted empath. And it caused me a lot of anxiety in the first half of my career where I felt like I was just always so worried about what other people were thinking. And I have since learned how to hone the empathic abilities. And it's become a little bit of a superpower for me building internal relationships and alliances because
Mhm.
I feel like I'm always in tune to other people's needs, what's going on other teams.
Can relate to that. I'm also an empath, and I am same thing. I've got myself in situations where I didn't need to be because of that. But also, I do think that as someone that sits back and kind of processes, I can spot things in the room of people that are something's wrong, something doesn't feel right to them, they have something to say, and I will approach that person later, one to one, and just say, "Hey, I noticed." But I do think that is important, and there's not a lot of people that do that or can do or are comfortable doing that, I should say.
So right. You're so right. What a gift that is, Debbie.
When you start to lean into your strengths, it makes everything just kind of click. I think when you show up as your true self and you're aware of your strengths, but also your weaknesses, and you don't beat yourself too much up about the things that you're not the best at, but you really harness your superpowers and use those to your advantage, that's when I think everything just clicks and comes together beautifully.
So true. Goodness. Well, all 3 of you just have such a delightful energy, just such a both a calming and an activating presence in different ways. So I think the big takeaway for this episode for me, Erica, is I am never going to put people in an extrovert introvert bucket again. It does harm.
Me too. So before we bring it home, I have a question to tie it all up, but I would like to try something new on this episode and do a fun little rapid fire lightning round if you guys are game. And Nate, I want you to get in on this too.
Okay, done.
So the rules are simple. I'm going to go through 5 questions and you're just going to give me your off the cuff first reaction answer and I'll call on you so we're not speaking all over each other. But the first question is networking event or one-on-one coffee chat? Nate.
Networking event.
Debbie.
One-on-one.
Jenny.
101.
Oh,
I'd
surprise!
go one-on-one too.
See you guys
Real
at the networking event. I guess not.
You'll be there by yourself, Nate. All right. Jenny, phone call or email?
Email.
Oh, I call Jenny all the time. Dang it.
No, it's okay. But I love phone calls with you always text before you call. I
Sure.
think that's the biggest thing. I'll take a phone call if you text me before. Don't just cold call. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's too much.
The anxiety. Debbie, what do you think?
Let me
Gosh,
know.
that one depends on who's calling.
Yeah. yes.
Fair.
Probably email. I'd lean more email, but if, depends.
Yeah. Nate, are you phone call? I don't want to presume.
Oh, totally phone call. I mean, I had a dear friend, Wayne Morris, call me out of the blue. We haven't talked in months. He called me yesterday. I was so excited. I love when somebody surprises me with a call.
I'm going to throw a
Noted.
wrench in this though. I will say voice notes are my favorite over all of them. So voice note, yeah.
Yes, you actually introduced me to the fact that you can do voice notes in Slack, Jenny. I had no idea until you started sending them, and I love it too. All right, so brainstorming in a group or thinking alone first, Nate.
Oh, I actually like to think alone first.
Debbie.
Brainstorming in a group.
Oh, whoa.
Jenny.
For me, brainstorming in a group too. Then I take my thoughts and go into one-on-one.
Yeah.
Or one with me, just my own thought. Yeah.
So wait, that just kind of flipped everything. That's weird.
Which is why.
But there's no box, remember?
There's no box.
We're blowing up the boxes today.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right, 2 more questions. This one is open office or private work area? Jenny.
Private work area.
Debbie.
Private work area.
Nate.
Open office. I'll go with this. Yeah, I like the noise and the buzz and the people.
You'd be fun to be in an open office with Nate.
Yeah.
As long as you don't get hurt by a Nerf dart, then you say that. Yes.
We get no
And
work.
you're at your own risk, right? All right, so last one. What is the one thing you wish other people understood about you? Jenny.
Man. I think that oh my gosh. I think I guess I kind of wish people understood just how much creativity can be a part of corporate. I feel like, yeah, those skills can work together.
I love that. Chills. Debbie, what about you?
Know about me personally? Man, well, right now in the situation I'm in, I wish people would just talk to me. Here I go and I say that I'm not a big talker, but talk to me and let's learn about me and what I can do for you. And I just feel like that right now is a huge challenge. So let's talk about it.
Jenny, you were so good about just sharing your journey through your candidate experience, and my heart just goes out to everybody in that situation. It can be such a lonely, frustrating time, but gosh, just here to support all of those folks in whatever way we can through CX Accelerator and just through our friendships.
Yep. Just, I want to go on record and say that if you ever need help in this journey, please reach out. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yes.
I'm happy to help.
Yes. Same.
You've been a great help too, Erica.
Thank you.
I would say on that question, for me, if I'm not 100% quote unquote Nate, I'm not sad. There's probably nothing wrong. I love for you to ask me how I'm doing, but don't ask me why I'm sad, or like I'm probably not. Like I'm probably just having one of my recovery days. I'm still super happy to see you. and I'm still really excited about things that are going on, but like I cannot be what that is all the time. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Mm, you're
Yeah.
only human, right?
Hmm.
Well, this has flown by, but I want to bring it all home because I have a feeling that there's a listener out there who's maybe feeling exhausted or burned out from trying to be someone that they're not at work, which is exactly why I wanted to have this conversation today. So, before we go, I would just love to hear from each of you. What is one thing that you would tell that person to stop doing tomorrow, and one thing you would encourage them to start doing instead?
I can go first. I would tell them to stop putting yourself out there without protecting who you are. Um, there's so many tools and things that can help them understand that, but I would also encourage them to do talk people. Tell them about yourself. Tell them who you are. Tell your manager, I'm not really comfortable with this, and this, but this is how I work. Because right now, without that background, it's just a guessing game for everybody to figure out. I mean, we do all the different tests and the personality things, but I don't think those, again, show up and show a true person and who they are. So I would encourage them to talk it through with their managers and their peers and be proud of who you are, no matter who you are.
Mm, that was the best advice, Debbie.
Love that, Debbie. Kind of to piggyback on what Debbie just said, I think my advice from being laid off, couldn't find anything for 2 years, and now in a new corporate role, I go into it with this feeling of like, you know, it's business at the end of the day. The decision for me to get laid off was business. No matter how much you pour into a job, even if you really, really love it, you are not your job. You are you. To your point, Debbie, like really like celebrate who you are and tell people who you are. Your work is not your identity. Your job,
Right.
unfortunately, it could not be your job tomorrow. But you and all of the skills and experiences that you have, no matter where you go, that's what matters. The relationships you build, that's what matters. So hold on to that and know that that is ultimately what matters. Sometimes it feels tricky because it might not pay the bills in that moment, but
Right.
at the, you will land in the next place and just hold on to that feeling. And yeah, so
Absolutely.
You are both such an inspiration, and I have to be honest, I came into this conversation feeling a little bit low today, and the energy that you've brought into my life in this
Yay.
moment is just incredible. So,
Serotonin.
each other up, lift each other up.
so many good vibes. I love it. I know this is going to be helpful for so many people. Nate, any final words of wisdom you want to impart on our listeners?
Oh, I mean, of course, the whole point of this show is to encourage people on their career journey in the CX space. And so I really hope that we've encouraged some folks and maybe helped you to realize something about yourself that might be an attribute that's quote unquote held you back in some degree from you not climbing the ladder or achieving some whatever definition of success, but you being happy and content in your work. That I feel like is the goal. I mean, of course we have to make enough money to survive and do the things, as it says in Daniel Pink's Drive, pay enough to where people are not distracted by money. So get there to where, you've got what you need and then lean in to the gifts that you have and the difference that you can make and the relationships that you can build as these three amazing people are discussing. I've been so just kind of baffled lately. And me and Jenny were talking about this earlier this week, how little it matters to have a network of 30,000 people. Just doesn't really matter. What matters in terms of career progression and encouragement and learning about myself and being happy and content in my work is the true friendships that I have earned. That's what matters. Jenny, you have something to say on that.
No, I'm nodding 100% yes to all that. I am in agreement. You're saying it so well. Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I hope this has been encouraging for folks. We're rooting for you. As Erica said, let us be a resource for you in your CX career. There's so much good in this space, even with all this technology confusion and everything changing all the time. We have an opportunity to elevate experiences and to serve people really well. So lean into those gifts. You matter as an experienced designer. These experiences matter. And until the next episode, we'll catch you soon. Thank you so much, everybody.